Hello, dear students. We have started our chapter Diversity in Living Organisms, and so far we have completed 3 parts of video lectures. Now we are going to see about next part. But before going towards next part of this presentation, we will first of all once again discuss about how five kingdom system of classification was developed by Whittaker. And in five kingdom system of classification, Whittaker has classified all the organisms into 5 different groups. They were Protista comes later, first Monera, then Protista, fungi, plantae and animalia. How they are differentiated we have seen. In this video lecture we are going to discuss about classification of kingdom animalia. In last lecture we have discussed about classification of kingdom plantae. Now in this lecture we are going to discuss about classification of kingdom animalia. Now I will close my window and we will discuss about this classification system on the screen. So here I go. In diversity of living organisms, this part 4th we are going to discuss about classification of animals, kingdom Animalia. Its pronunciation is kingdom Animalia, but while discussing I am going to pronounce it like kingdom Animalia. The reason is because of this my pronunciation, your spelling will never go wrong. That's why I am going to pronounce it like throughout the lecture, kingdom Animalia. Now what is the position of kingdom Animalia in five kingdom system? We have already discussed. You can see here kingdom Monera, kingdom Protista, kingdom fungi, kingdom plantae and kingdom Animalia. In this you might be remembering that kingdom Animalia, which is towards right side, it is most advanced kingdom of these all groups. Now when we are discussing about kingdom Animalia, you can understand kingdom Monera was the most primitive kingdom. Then it comes to the kingdom Protista. From Protista 3 kingdoms at a time have evolved: kingdom fungi, kingdom plantae and kingdom Animalia. So this kingdom Animalia we are going to classify it. Now what are the characteristics which are used for classifying kingdom Animalia? Here broadly you can see these are the criteria or characters which are used for classifying kingdom Animalia. The first criteria used was whether the organism is of cellular level, made up of some cells, but there is no differentiation like tissues, or the organism is differentiated into tissues. Based on that, kingdom Animalia is divided first into kingdom phylum. Now see, in plants there were divisions, in animals there will be phylum, phylum. So here there will be phylum. Now in kingdom Plantae we have seen divisions were Thallophyta, Bryophyta, Pteridophyta, Gymnosperm, Angiosperm and so on. Like here in kingdom Animalia there will be phylum Porifera, phylum Coelenterata, phylum Platyhelminthes, phylum Nematoda, phylum Annelida, phylum Arthropoda, phylum Mollusca, phylum Echinodermata, phylum Chordata, like this. So first, cellular level of organization, that is kept, all these organisms are kept in phylum Porifera. So basis of classification, organization and differentiation of cell to form tissue and organs This is the first criteria which is used. The second criteria used is symmetry. You can see this is first criteria which is used, that is cellular level of organization. Second is symmetry. Third criteria used is coelom. Fourth is segmentation, and next one is notochord or backbone. These are the 5 criteria which are used for classifying the organisms. Let us see one by one. So here, if you see cellular level of organization, then next it comes to body symmetry. What is by body symmetry? Whether the organism is asymmetric, bisymmetric, or pentasymmetric, or multiple radial symmetry. Such are the criteria used. So if the organism can't be divided into 2 halves after bifurcation, then it is called as a asymmetric. Okay, then if the organism is divided into 2 parts, then it is called as a bisymmetry. And if the organism is divided into more than 2 parts in equal halves from certain angles, from different angles, then it is called as a radial symmetry. So accordingly, these organisms are divided: radial symmetry or bilateral symmetry. These all organisms are kept in Coelenterata phylum. If organisms are only bilaterally symmetrical, then they are further divided on the basis of coelom. So coelom means what? Coelom, when the organism is at embryo stage, if we take transverse section of embryo, then how many layers we can observe? There are several layers like endoderm, ectoderm, mesoderm. So outer one is ectoderm, middle one is mesoderm, and inner one is a endoderm. If these organisms are divided into 3 parts, 3 layers, then it is called as a triploblastic. If it is in 2 layers, then it is called as a diploblastic. Now middle layer sometime it is vacant. Then if the middle layer is vacant, then it is called as a coelom. And based on this coelom, the organism is divided into different groups. If coelom is not there, cavity is not present, then it is called as a no coelom, acoelomatic. Then such type of organisms are kept in group phylum Platyhelminthes. Then if false coelom, that is pseudocoelom, we call it as technical term pseudocoelom. If pseudocoelom is present, that is partially filled cavity is there, mesoderm if it is there and partially filled cavity it is there, then it is called as a pseudocoelom, and they are kept in nematoda. Next group is if true coelom is present, that is cavity is present between 2 layers, and from that cavity then organ formation takes place. So such type of organisms further divided, you can see, on the basis of segmentation. So what is this segmentation? So legs, hand, such type of segmentations are there. Then these segments, if these segments are present in the form of rings, then such type of organisms are kept in phylum Annelida. If jointed legs are there, they are segmented into jointed legs, then they are kept in phylum Arthropoda. Mollusca shell like structures are there, then they are kept in phylum Mollusca. Further, the organisms are divided on the basis of notochord. If notochord is absent, segmentations are there, and notochord is absent, then they are kept in Echinodermata. And if notochord is present, then they are kept in chordata. Further, we are going to see about chordata in detail. Just now, these 9 phylum I have discussed with you how they are classified on the basis of different characteristics. So basis of classification, once again I am going to repeat it: organization and differentiation of cells to form tissue and organ. Body symmetry is second criteria which divide these all organisms. Coelomic cavity is third criteria. Segmentation is fourth criteria, and presence or absence of notochord is fifth criteria to classify these all organisms into different groups. So up to this, if you have understood, it will be very easy for me to make you understand about the characteristics of these different groups. Let's go towards next basic classification. Here it is told as there are two groups, invertebrata and vertebrata. Invertebrates are the organisms which doesn't have notochord. Invertebrate, vertebral column is not present, so notochord is not present. Then such type of animals are kept in invertebrata. They are further classified on the basis of these different characters just now we have discussed. You have to remember all these characteristics and these names of this phylum. Phylum Porifera, phylum Coelenterata, phylum Platyhelminthes, phylum Nematoda, phylum Annelida, phylum Arthropoda, phylum Mollusca, phylum Echinodermata, and phylum Vertebrata. So these are the different phylum which we have to remember. To remember this, I have made one sentence. You can, if you can learn this sentence, it will be easy, because at a time memorizing this all phylums names, it is bit difficult, but I have made one sentence. If you can remember, just try to remember it. पर्क चॉकलेट पैर के नीचे आते आते मोरे सर की एंट्री पे वैनिश हो गई. पर्क चॉकलेट, पर्क पोरीफेरा, चॉकलेट सिलेंट्रेटा, पैर के प्लेटीहेलमिंथिस, नीचे निमेटोडा, आते एनेलिडा, आते आर्थ्रोपोडा, मोरे मलुस्का, entry Echinodermata, vanish vertebrata. So these are the names. This is the slogan I have made. If you can remember, well and good, or else you can prepare your own slogan also, no problem. But just now I have prepared पर्क चॉकलेट पैर के नीचे आते आते मोरे सर की एंट्री पे वैनिश हो गए. So you can remember differently also. So basically I told you kingdom Animalia is classified into invertebrata and vertebrata. These are the two groups. Let us go one by one. Now phylum Porifera. The characteristics of phylum Porifera are pori means holes and fera means bearing. So these are the hole bearing organisms. Generally they are called as sponges basically. What are the characteristics of Porifera? Let us see. These are pore bearing organisms, that is with porous body, also called as sponges. Aquatic, mostly they are marine. These are sessile and sedentary, that is attached to substratum. They occur in different shapes, that is vase like, rounded, sac like, etc. You can see here Euplectria, Cycon are the examples. Body perforated by numerous pores called ostia, which open into a canal system, having canal and chambers lined with sinusoids, that is flagella, which help them to locomotion, and have a large size water outlet called oscula. Their cavity is called spongiole. Endoskeleton means the skeleton which is present inside, inner, is made up of needle like spicules made up of calcium carbonate and silica or spongiosole. They are hermaphrodite, that is both the sex organs are present on the same body. Asexual reproduction by budding, for example Cycon, Spongilla, Euplectella are the examples. Then after phylum Porifera we are going to go towards next, that is phylum Coelenterata. Coelos means hollow, enteron means intestine. Coelo means hollow and enteron means intestine. So these are the characteristics of phylum Coelenterata. These are sac like structures. They have body cavity called gastrovascular cavity or coelentron. It has single opening for ingestion and egestion, both. Ingestion means intake of food, egestion means out, go of the digested food material. In case of Coelenterata, this opening is same, single opening. From food also taken from the same opening, and food let it go also from the same opening. They are mostly marine, but some of they are freshwater also, aquatic. Multicellular, these all organisms are multicellular, which are present in the phylum Coelenterata. Multicellular means many, made up of many cell. Diploblastic, initially I told you blast means two layers. Diploblastic means this body of this organism is made up of two layers, and they are radially symmetrical. Symmetry means if we try to bifurcate this organism, then it will bifurcate into in any symmetry. See, this is called as a radial symmetry. From any plane, this organism can be divided into two halves, more than two angles if they are present, then they are called as a radially symmetrical organisms. These are radially symmetrical. They have special organs called tentacles. So these finger like projections, tentacles, which help them to locomote. So hydra locomote with the help of this tentacle. They are specialized for stinging. They paralyze the prey by releasing poison. So they sting and paralyze the prey. So they are having poison in their tentacles. With the help of tentacles, they are stinging. These are polymorphic, that is, they occur in two forms, more than two forms. Then they are called as that's why they are called as a polymorphic. Examples here are hydra, obelia, corals, sea anemone. These are the examples, which jellyfish is also an example of the same. Asexual reproduction by budding and sexual reproduction by gamete formation takes place in this phylum. Let's go towards next phylum. The name of the phylum is, see here, about Coelenterata it is shown. Hydra is also example, and here this is called as a diploblastic, triploblastic. Inner layer and outer layer, two layers only are present, and gastrovascular cavity. So triploblastic, three layers are present, that's why it is called as a triploblastic, and these are called as a tentacles. Okay, next phylum is Platyhelminthes. Platy means flat and helminths means worms. Platy means flat and helminths means worms. So this is also called as a Ctenophora. Body is transparent with radial symmetry. These possess comb plate that are ciliated to 8 in number. This helps in locomotion. Okay. These platyhelminths, plate-like structures, helminths means worm, generally called as a flatworms. They are called as a flatworms, as platy means flat, I told you. These are bilaterally symmetrical, can be divided into two halves. If tried to broken into, then it is called as a bilaterally symmetrical. You can see here on the screen how that organism can be broken down into two halves. That's why it is called as a bilaterally symmetrical. They are triploblastic. I told you triploblastic means three layers. They are made up of three layers. So this is about triploblastic tissue differentiation. Endoderm, mesoderm and ectoderm. These are the three layers. That's why it is called as a triploblastic. If their transverse section is taken, we can observe three different layers. That's why this triploblastic. Dorsiventrally flattened, upper and lower side dorsiventrally flattened. These are called as acoelomids. Coelomic cavity is absent. That's why they are called as acoelomids. Their digestive cavity has a single opening with mouth only and anus is absent. So in this group of organism, phylum Platyhelminthes, anus is absent, only one opening is present. They possess hook and suckers. They have flame cells, or they are also called as a protonephridia for excretion. Protonephridia for excretion. Mode of nutrition, obviously parasite, because they are depending on other living organisms. Reproduction is both by both types, that is asexual reproduction and sexual reproduction. Planaria, tapeworm, liver fluke, these are the examples of phylum Platyhelminthes. The next phylum we are going to see about is Nematoda. Nema means thread and oda means like. Thread like organisms, if they are present, then they are called as a phylum Nematoda. Here this is the phylum Nematoda. You can see classification wise. One thing you might have understood till now, the classification system is arranged as such that they are from primitive to advanced organisms. Primitive organisms are with simple body structure, advanced organisms are with complex body structure. As we are going towards next phylum further, complexity of the body design is increasing. So in Nematoda, thread like structure, they are also called as a roundworms. Upside we have seen Platyhelminthes, flatworms. Nematoda, roundworms. They are called as, they are bilaterally symmetrical. Now you understood what is meant by bilaterally symmetrical. That is, the organism can be divided into two halves, unsegmented. There is no segments. Before Nematoda, we have seen segment like structures were present. Segmented body was not segmented. Annelida में आएगा segmented body, यहाँ पे Nematoda में segmented body नहीं है. Okay, unsegmented. Next characteristic of this is they are triploblastic. 3 layers are present. These are pseudocoelomic. Here coelom development has started, but coelom development totally is not achieved. So pseudocoelomic. Their alimentary canal is tubular, having both mouth and anus. Most are free living. Some live in moist soil, some are freshwater, while some are marine. Some of they are parasitic. Like Ascaris, Wuchereria. These are the examples which are parasitic one. They are living in some different animals' body. Okay, they are on plants as well as in animals. They lack circulatory system. Circulatory system is absent. See here, parasitic living organisms. Filarial worm is present. Elephantiasis disease is caused because of this filarial worm. Then roundworms are present in, and pinworms are present in our intestine. So these are the parasitic free living organisms, free living or parasitic one. These are parasitic examples of parasitic organisms. Even they are living in the human body also. So circulatory system is absent in them. Reproduction is by asexual and sexes are separate. For example, Ascaris, roundworm, filarial worm are the examples just we have seen. Next one we are going to see about is phylum Annelida. Anne means rings, annulus means rings or segments. So if you see, ring like structures are present here. So Annelida means ring like structures. If body is having little rings present all over the body, then they are called as Annelida. Their body is triploblastic. Now what is meant by triploblastic you understood? Bilaterally symmetrical, soft, elongated, vermiform, cylindrical, cylinder like, dorsiventrally flattened, ऊपर की तरफ से और नीचे की तरफ से flat है. Body is metamerically segmented, like segmentation has taken place here, head, body, anterior body, last part of the body, like that differentiation has taken place. Exoskeleton is absent, outer skeleton is not present, body is covered with thin cuticle only. Then they have closed circulatory system. Locomotion is with the help of chitinous projections. So projections are there. You might have seen earthworm. So earthworm like structures earthworm like organisms are present in this phylum. Leech, earthworm are the examples. Excretion by Nephridia are present in these animals. Nervous system has dorsal brain. See, nervous system development has started here. So complexity is increasing, as I told you, from primitive to advanced organism. Complexity goes on increasing. Most of the organisms are aquatic. Some of they are marine as well as some of they are freshwater. Some are terrestrial also, like earthworm, terrestrial organism is present. But here, see, advanced character is shown here is they reproduce sexually. Next phylum is Arthropoda. In phylum Arthropoda, arthro means jointed and poda means legs. Let us see. So these are the examples of Annelida, earthworms and leeches. Bilaterally symmetrical, triploblastic, coelomic, presence of circulatory system. Circulatory system started. Arthropoda is the next group. Here Arthropoda means jointed legs. Arthro means jointed and poda means legs. So these are organisms with jointed appendages. This is the largest phylum in animal kingdom. Do remember, this is the largest phylum of kingdom Animalia. Near about 80% animals of kingdom Animalia are present in phylum Arthropoda. It is present in phylum Arthropoda, largest phylum of kingdom Animalia. Body is triploblastic, bilaterally symmetrical. Body is triploblastic, bilaterally symmetrical. These are the examples. See, spider, jointed legs are there. Honeybee, legs, if you see, these their legs are jointed one. Okay, if you see their legs, they are jointed legs. These are jointed legs. Okay, segmented body as well as jointed legs is the characteristics. Oyster, prawn, if you see their legs are jointed one. So jointed legs is the basic property of this phylum, and they are triploblastic, I told you, and bilaterally symmetrical, equally divided. They have an exoskeleton. Interestingly, their skeleton is exoskeleton. Our skeleton is endoskeleton. See, our bones are inside our body, but here these Arthropoda they are having exoskeleton. आपने देखा होगा, कॉकरोच देखा होगा, है ना, कि मर जाने के बाद उस कॉकरोच को अंदर से पूरी तरह से एंट्स वगैरह खा लेती है, फिर भी उसका एक्सटर्नल अपीयरेंस वैसे के वैसे रहता है, उसका स्केलेटन वैसे के वैसे पड़ा रहता है, बना रहता है. सो दैट इज कॉल्ड एज अ exoskeleton made up of proteins and chitin. Periodic shading of this exoskeleton takes place to induce the growth in these organisms. They have complete alimentary canal from mouth to anus. Respiration occurs through general body surface, gills, trachea and lungs. They have open circulatory system. Open circulatory system, in open circulatory system what happens? Heart is located at upper level and all the organs are bathing in the blood under the heart. So this is called as an open circulatory system, means vessels, blood vessels are not present, blood vessels are absent in this open circulatory system. Body cavity is called as a coelom. Okay, excretion by coelom ducts, Malpighian tubules, green glands, coxal glands. Sexes are separate, means they will be male body and female body. Such type of structures are there, such type of bodies are there, separate sexes. Each segment has paired, that is lateral and jointed appendages. These all are the characteristics of phylum Arthropoda. Examples I have shown you. Then we will go towards next phylum, that is phylum Mollusca. It may be pronounced as a mollusca, but I am going to pronounce it as a mollusca because you people remember spelling by pronunciation. So mollusca. Okay, so do remember its spelling also. It is second largest group of animals. Body is soft, unsegmented, bilaterally symmetrical and without appendages. Appendages means legs are not there. Body divided into head, foot and visceral mass. A thin skin covering the body is called as a mantle, which secrete calcareous shell. So shell is present in this. Mollusca are known by its shell. Upside they are having shell. Body cavity is hemocele. Respiration by gills in aquatic forms, but in terrestrial forms, space between mantle and body wall called mantle cavity acts as a lungs. Open circulatory system here also present. Examples are octopus, snail, okay, chiton, mussel. These are the examples of phylum Mollusca. And of this segment, invertebrata, last phylum is Echinodermata. So here these are the characteristics of Mollusca. Visceral mass is present. Afterwards it will be getting converted into shell. Foot structure, head structure, 3 parts are there. Next phylum, last of this invertebrata, you can see at left side of this screen, or invertebrates. So we have classified them into Porifera, Coelenterata, Platyhelminthes, Nematoda, Annelida, Arthropoda, Mollusca and Echinodermata. So Echinodermata, what are the characteristics of Echinodermata are? These are marine animals. Their body is triploblastic, 3 segments, 3 layers, and their body is unsegmented. The body has spines arising from exoskeleton of calcium. So echino means spines and dermata means skin. Derma means skin. So they are known for its spines. Their body has spines arising from exoskeleton of the calcium. These adult organisms of this group, of this phylum, are radially symmetrical, while larvae are bilaterally symmetrical. Head is absent. Excretory organs are absent. A complex system of water containing tubes and blades passing through pores of skin called water vascular system is present, which help them for locomotion. Reproduction can be asexual, sexual or by regeneration. Asteriasis, that is starfish, echinus, sea urchin are examples of this group. Starfish, sea cucumber, sea urchin are the examples of this group. So here we have finished invertebrates from kingdom Animalia. Each one's character and their examples I have shown. I have tried to show you in this PPT, in this lecture, in this video lecture. We are going to see about vertebrata in next video lecture. So next video lecture we will take some tomorrow or day after tomorrow. Till that time, I have shared you already this PDF file and DPP and notes. You people are expected to write all these notes and DPPs in your notebook. This part, Animalia Kingdoms part, notes from this PDF file are required to write, because these words are unknown to you. Before this, you people have never gone through these words. I expect you should go through these words so that they will be easy to remember. So see you in next video lecture for phylum Vertebrata and its subgroups. Okay, till that time, enjoy the study. Have a good day. Thank you very much.